Hey folks, how's everybody? It's the end of the month here. We're wrapping up March and we're plugging our numbers into our March expense report. We are at Lake Medina. This is our second time here. We got our favorite site, 154. I think it's F section, I'm not sure, but anyway, site 154 right on the lake, and our front windshield just looks right out at the lake. We've really enjoyed it. And we've had kind of an odd month. We've had a couple of weird, unusual expenses. But let me start out by explaining, before we get too deep in here, we are 1,000 Trails members. We purchased our 1,000 Trails membership a year ago for $4,000. So we don't have any expense in here for 1,000 Trails, the purchase of it. We have annual dues of $607, and so we amortize out $51 a month we put in each month for our dues, and we don't account for the original purchase at all. That's gone, just like our motorhome's paid for, so we don't have anything in there for the purchase of the motorhome or our car. We have no bills, no credit cards, none of that stuff. So this is just the money that we spend each month. So we started out, the month was down at Tropic Winds. We left a little bit early. We weren't planning to go to Big Bend, but we decided to head on up there. So we drove up to Big Bend National Park, stayed up here in the Rio Grande Village, and then we came on up and went over to 1,000 Trails at Medina Lake. So total on the motorhome, we drove 1,118 miles. We moved 4 times. That was from we were at Medina. We were at Tropic Winds down in Harlingen. Then we went to Travel Park just out of Del Rio. Spent the night there. That's where my folks used to winter, and we wanted to check that out. Then we went to Big Bend National Park, Rio Grande Village. Stayed there 6 nights, and then we spent the night in a roadside park that was just awesome. Texas has got some of the nicest roadside parks right up in here. It was, and spent 1 night there, and then came on into 1,000 Trails Medina Lake. 23 nights in 1,000 Trails. There's no expense to that, with the one exception. Some 1,000 Trails, 30 amp is free at all of them, 30 amp electric service, and some of them charge you $3 a night if you upgrade to 50 amp service. For our diesel fuel, we spent $699 on diesel fuel. One reason that's so high is obviously the miles we drove. But 6 days that we were at Big Bend, we ran the generator probably 5 to 7 hours a day, depending on if we were at the campground or if we were out and about. And the generator runs, if you're running the air conditioners, and that's generally we would be running them, about 1 gallon an hour. So just say 6 times 36, 40. I'm guessing we burned through 40 or 50 gallons of diesel fuel at Big Bend. And then our hot water heater and our furnace runs off of diesel fuel. And that burns like a gallon an hour with our Aqua Hot. So anyway, we've got 60 gallons, maybe 70 gallons on accessories, not just on traveling. So pretty big diesel fuel. After deep campsites, I kind of talked about that briefly. We had our $51 for 1,000 Trails annual dues. We paid $51 a month. At the Holiday, that's a Passport America site, so we got that for 50% off, so that was $17.50. Big Bend, being seniors, and we have a senior pass, so we get in for free. It's $25 entrance fee. We didn't have to pay that. And then our campsites were only $49. We paid for 7 nights, but we left a day early there also, so we only stayed 6 nights. But $49 for Big Bend, and then $21 for our 50 amp upgrade. That takes us back up here. One thing we track is our campsite average cost per night, $447 for the month of March, and as you can see, $732 is what we're averaging for the year. That was mostly from back here when we were in the Pacific Northwest and doing a little more traveling up there. And our diesel, that really is a whammy, $22.54 for the month of March, and that is, well, we had a $45 one and 24. It's a pretty high one. We're averaging $12 a night. So $12 a night for diesel fuel and $7 a night for campsites is what we're running for the year. Motorhome repairs. This is kind of, it's a little bit of an odd one. Anything that we use in the put in the motorhome, we count repairs. Repairing, you know, anything, the air conditioner, hot water heater, water pipe. But we also, to keep we count our pots and pans, and all of that stuff is part of the motorhome. And so if we have to replace some of that, it will go in motorhome repairs. So I do the dishes. One of the pots is getting a little bit scraped up. Pearl's been wanting to get one of these special pots, $50 pot. It was on sale, normally $100, and it's on sale for $50. So she bought that. So but nothing else broke. That's always nice. Yeah, here's a big one. Auto, or not a big one, but an unexpected one. Auto repairs, our gas, our license plates, our tags and stuff. $98 for gas. Our rear brake rotors. If you watched our, what does it cost to hook up a Toad? The cost and expense to hook up your car to tow. I talked about some mistakes that I'd made with our auxiliary brakes in our car, and that happened a year or so ago. I didn't hook them up quite right. Watch that video. I'll put a link in up here if you want to. But I didn't have it hooked up right, so the brakes was coming on with the vacuum assist instead of just manual, and it was applying too much brake, and it heated our brakes up, burn up the rotors, burn up the brake drums. And I had the front ones replaced, and they just ground down the rear rotors, and it was started making in the last couple of months a little bit of a grinding, scraping noise. And I took it in, and the rear rotors were a little bit warped. So they put on new rear rotors and then had the car washed. So $594 for that. And doing this stuff, you're always going to have unexpected things. So that's you just hope it doesn't happen every month. RV and auto insurance, another little extra. Normally it's $175 for our car. Our car insurance is $900 a month, and our RV insurance is $1,200. Our car insurance is $900 a year, and our RV insurance is $1,200 a year. And our roadside assistance is due this month, and it's $140. We get that through Good Sam. We just changed over to them. Hopefully they're pretty good. Groceries, liquor, cleaning, everything we buy in a grocery store, toilet paper, dog food, if it is bought in a grocery store, it goes into this line item. Groceries, liquor, paper supplies, cleaning supplies. $640. As you can see, we average a little over $800. So that's a pretty low month. Pearl was saying she needs to go grocery shopping now. And this is the last day of March. It's the 31st, so she's probably not going to go till we move to our next spot. I think we're going to Snyder tomorrow, Snyder, Texas, to visit my sister. So we'll probably go grocery shopping then, but normally this trip here would go in the March one. So our April is going to be up, I have no doubt. The next one, dining out, $182. We're averaging about $250. We just haven't done a lot of eating out. Kind of surprised me. I would have thought we would have done more, but that one was a nice surprise. Internet and cell phone, that's what it is. We have 2 Verizon phones. We get 15 gigabytes in each one of those, and 15 gigabytes on our little MiFi. So we get 45 gigabytes of high-speed internet data, and then whenever they hit that limit, then it slows down to not high speed, pretty slow. It still works, you just can't upload videos. You can get email and surf the internet, but we spent $145. We're looking to maybe increase that if we can find some kind of plan that will fit into our budget. Direct TV, I found out that's been running $140 or so. I just figured out, we took a 3-month free trial with HBO 4 or 5 months ago, and that's expired, and it's $12 or $15 a month for HBO, so that's why that jumped up. Medical, we had something in there too. Our Part B Medicare cost us $126.40 a piece, and it comes out of our Social Security check. Our Part D for prescription drugs, $17 a piece. That comes out of our Social Security. And then we both bought the first of the year a Medigap plan, a Part G, and that is $109 for Pearl and $116 for me. So that $512 is pretty much what our, unless we have, the Part G should cover most of the extras, but that's what our medical will be going forward. $0 for pet care. Tinker needs to get a grooming, but we'll probably have that done in Snyder. Recreation and hobby, that's about the lowest. That's a real low one. We're average about $350 there. So we went to San Antonio. We rode the river boats on the river going through town. On the river walk, that is only $10 a piece. That was a great thing. The parking was almost as much as the parking was $12. Then iTunes, where they store our pictures and stuff. Now this month we did, generally I put any of our big stuff, I go ahead and put it in the budget, and the drone I expensed out for 6 or 7 months. But we upgraded our cameras. We have a Canon G7X, and I think a lot of you watched our interview with Terry and Cindy Goss. They manage the Encore property, Victoria Palms, and we had to break it up into 3 parts. It was so long, but there was great information there, and everybody really loved it, and we all got a lot out of their knowledge and wisdom. They also have already full-time for 5 years, and then they went back to manage this Victoria Palms down in the Rio Grande Valley, and so they're living on site there in that house. But we had to take that offline. We didn't have to, but we decided to. The sound quality, we did the whole thing in a big activity center, and it had a hollow, echoey sound, and there was some overhead music, and I tried to fix it, and I just made it worse. That was really a sad one there, because that was good information. I'm thinking I'm going to put a link back, and so for people that want to see that, I'll have a place you can go and click on it, but you'll know ahead of time that it's got poor sound, but it's got some great information on it if you want to see those. Oh, but the cameras I'm not adding in this time, simply because it's too big of an expense, and it's not something that's going to affect anybody else. Everybody's going to have unexpected expenses like that, and that's why I put our iPads in there, and I put that drone in there. You're going to buy toys, you're going to have expenses, you're going to do stuff, but this was kind of over the top, so I went and just paid for that and kept it out of the budget. But I'm kind of putting that in a note in there for me when I'm trying to figure out why my online expenses doesn't match my checkbook. Sometimes Pearl asks me, what's the deal on the checkbook? I like to have it documented so I can answer her real quick and keep her happy. Computer hardware and software. Oh, TurboTax to do our taxes. We've been using TurboTax for probably 20 years almost. It's a great way to go. Our taxes are so small, and I'm thinking going forward we won't have to pay any taxes. We kind of got it down with our Social Security and stuff. And if you're interested how we do that, shoot me an email and I'll tell you. But it's just basically we're spending all of the IRA and 401k money that we need. We're pulling that out, but I'm not taking my Social Security until I hit 70 next year. My Social Security is going to bump up from like 20. If I'd have took it at 62, it would have been in the low 20,000s. 65 would have been around 30,000. But by waiting until 70, I'll get right at 40,000 a year. So we've been using up pulling cash out of our savings until next year, and then I'll start being able to pull that 40,000 out, and then Pearl's got 20,000 Social Security. So that gives us $60,000 Social Security. I'm thinking that we're gonna, and then we have our required minimum withdrawals from our IRAs, and that's so low that I think we may not have to pay taxes. If any, it'd be very little. But anyway, TurboTax we use to kind of keep track of all that stuff. And then our finances. Clothing, Pearl bought a little t-shirt at the Riverwalk. She likes getting a t-shirt or something at the different tourist places. And mail, we had $4 for mail. We have all of our mail sent to our daughter's house in Elko, Nevada. Fortunately for them, unfortunately for us, they're going to be moving. That may change, I don't know. We may have to find another solution. But right now, she just gets the mail and then scans it to me and what we want her to send, she sticks it in an envelope and sends it our way. And for the month, $3,561. That's close to where we've been running. Yeah, $34.85. And annually, we're right at the 41, almost 42. $114.88. So it's right in line with our annual average, $114. So basically $115 a day for all of our expenses. We've had it months as low as $73 and as high as $170, it looks like. So we're right in there, $115 a day, and almost $42,000 a year. Now we do a little thing that a lot of you have said you enjoy seeing. So what we do here is our frugal budget, in case like the government cut out our Social Security in half, or we had some big expense, some big doctor bill or something, and if we had to cut down all of our expenses down as low as we could, we run with what we call a frugal budget just to see how low we could go. And so this is assuming if we were trying to save all the money we could in this year, this 12 months, our first 12 months, we're driving 9,500 miles and we're averaging about 750 a month. So we're saying we would go to an area that's got 3,000 or 4,000 trails and just kind of rotate between them. We can stay in 1,000 trails for free, but we can only stay 21 days at a time. Then we go to another 1,000 trails, stay 21 days, go to another one, stay 21 days, and never pay a penny, just stay in those, in that little circle, except for our $607 annual dues. So we took out half of our fuel, knowing that we're not going to be going all over the country. We're going to stay in a certain area. And we took out all of our camping expenses except for the $607. So we had $2,600 in camping expenses. We took out $2,064. Our motorhome repairs, license plates, all that stuff, maintenance, maybe you don't budget for it, but you're going to have those expenses. So we left all of those in, $2,000. Automobile, our gas, our repairs, our license plates, we left all of that in. RV and auto insurance, we left all that in. Groceries, we left all of that in. Now if you don't drink, we have probably close to $100 a month, at least between 75 and probably 125 for liquor. If you don't drink, you could probably take out $1,000 real easy off of that, but we do drink, so we can't take that out. We took all of the dining out, took those dollars away. Just have to eat at home, buy groceries and cook it. Internet, we left all that in. Everybody's going to have internet and cell phones. DirecTV, we took that out, just have to use over-the-air TV and get out and enjoy the park you're in. Medical, we left all of that in because you got to have medical. Pet care, you got to get rid of your dog. If we're going on frugal, we probably wouldn't get rid of ours. We'd maybe cut out some cold beer to keep the dog. Not sure the cat would make. Well, yeah, the cat would make it. They'd both make it. Just kidding. They'd both make it. Pearl just gave me that look. Maybe I won't be the one that makes it if she has to cut back. Recreation, we cut all that out. No more cameras and riding ferry boats and all that stuff is gone. You got to find something that doesn't cost anything, and there's a lot of stuff to do. A lot of the stuff we go do doesn't cost a penny. Computer and hardware, whatever computer you got, that's what you got. We wouldn't get another one. If it broke, we'd just have to do without. Same with clothing, took all of our extra clothing out. Mail, left that in. We're still going to have some way to get hold of our mail. So all that said, there's almost $16,000 worth expenses we feel we could cut if we had to. Some of that, you know, you can't cut it all probably, but if we cut it all, it'd be right at $26,000. Between $26,000 and $42,000 is where we think we could fit, and it just depends on how big a cut we had to do. If you're trying to figure out what it's going to cost you, I think you need to to get a good idea to help you build your budget, I think you can look at these numbers and help give you at least an idea of what we are doing and what we think we could do. So I hope that helps. That's March. We're headed up north. We're going to go see my sister, and then we're going to go to a couple of thousand trails up around Dallas. And we've been to most of those before, and then we're going into brand new territory. We're going to Branson in Missouri. And then if you folks are thinking about, and if you're watching this video, you probably are thinking about potentially at least spending a lot of time, if not full time, in your RV. We're going to the Escapees Rally in Sedalia, Missouri, up in the northeast corner of Missouri. You might want to think about coming up there to that. It's got all kind of, it lasts a week. It has all kind of seminars about RVing, and people, questions you got, they've got people there that has the answers. And you're going to be, there'll be over, you know, well over 1,000 people, I'm sure there, 1,000 rigs, a lot more than 1,000 people. You're going to meet people that have the same thought process as you've got and are thinking about the same things you're thinking about. It's a great, this is our third one, and we love it. We always come away with some new knowledge and some new friends. So, and then we're headed up to see our nephew Robert Cadell up in Indianapolis, then Niagara Falls, and then Hershey, Pennsylvania, all the way up into Maine, hoping to get up there for the fall colors in September, October time frame. So that's our March expense report. Hope it helps you. If you enjoyed it, give us a thumbs up. We really do appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel. We're right at coming up on 2,000 subscribers. So sure would love to see you jump on the bandwagon and get us up over that 2,000 hump. And don't hesitate to leave your comments. I'll put my email address down here at the bottom. If you want a copy of this spreadsheet, shoot me an email and I'll send you a copy. This is, I don't remember the year, but this is a newer Excel. If you've got an older, like a 2007 or something version of Excel, let me know and I can send you an older, I'll save it in an older format so you can open it up. If not, you'll get it in the, I think it's 2010 or something. I think that's the latest one, the one that I've got. All right, thanks for watching. Keep the wheels rolling. See you down the road. Bye-bye.